With the dawn of a new console generation, it's only a given that we're going to see tons of new amazing games getting released. So today, I'm going to give you a list of 10 upcoming games that I'm the most excited for. While I was making the list, I tried to include a mixture of some big and obvious ones, as well as a few that may not be on everyone's radar. So without further ado, let's check them out. And starting off with number 1, we're talking about S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. The S.T.A.L.K.E.R games are known for being absolutely brutal first-person open-world survival games, praised for their immersive gameplay and atmosphere. In the game, you play as, well, a stalker, and you're just one of many. You venture out into the irradiated area of Chernobyl known as the Zone. You scavenge for supplies, fight human NPCs, mutants, zombies, and encounter crazy environmental hazards known as anomalies. The world of the S.T.A.L.K.E.R games is quite literally alive. Things will happen in the world even if you're not around to see it. You could be wandering and just randomly hear a huge gunfight of two groups of NPCs out in the distance, or a group of bandits fighting off a pack of mutants. And even if you're not around to witness or even hear the event firsthand, you can always stumble upon the aftermath of it later. And on top of this, the developers are claiming that the open world of S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is going to be one of the largest open world games to date. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is set to have a branching story with multiple endings where the choices you make during the game not only affect it short term, but also throughout the story. Imagine like the Metro games, but dialed up to 11, and if you're a fan of those games like I am, or open world survival games, then you should probably keep this one on your radar. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is being developed by GSC Game World and is set to hit Xbox and PC sometime in 2021. Coming in at number 2 is the 4-player co-op, horde slaying, hack and slash, Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. Darktide is building off the amazing first-person close-quarters gameplay of the Warhammer Vermintide series. Set in the Warhammer 40,000 universe, you play as a group of ex-convicts who are now working to take down the hordes of chaos. Each character comes with its own class, abilities, and weapon loadouts. You and 3 of your buddies will need to shoot, stab, slash, and punch your way through hordes of a variety of enemies and bosses. Darktide is going to feature dynamic maps and weather, and even opportunities for stealth if you don't feel like you're equipped to take on the horde at that particular moment. The developers are aiming to bring all of these features together to ensure that each time you play through a level will be different. And if you played either of the Vermintide games, you pretty much know what you're getting here, and that is good news to me. Warhammer 40,000 Darktide is being developed and published by Fat Shark and is set to hit Xbox and PC sometime in 2021. And moving on to number 3, we're actually going to change it up a little bit with LEGO Star Wars The SKYWALKER Saga. As a kid, I loved the LEGO Star Wars games, and I still remember playing through them time after time with my best friend and my dad. And now, the SKYWALKER Saga is going to be the LEGO Star Wars game to rule them all. It's essentially going to remaster the old games in the art style of the new, while also containing the new trilogy, featuring full-fledged voice acting, the new over-the-shoulder third-person perspective, next-gen graphics, and 9 movies worth of content. It's definitely a must-play for any LEGO Star Wars fans out there. And for someone like me, who hasn't really touched a LEGO game since the original Star Wars, I'm really excited to get my hands on this and play through it on my PlayStation 5. LEGO Star Wars The SKYWALKER Saga is being developed by TT Games and is set to hit Nintendo Switch, PS4 and 5, Xbox, PC, and Samsung Smart Fridge in 2021.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
So be it, Jedi.
And coming in at number 4 is one of my most anticipated games of the year, hands down, Resident Evil Village. A follow-up to the critically acclaimed Resident Evil 7, you play as Ethan Winters, who once again ignored all the keep out signs written in blood and travels to a creepy village and castle seemingly in Romania. You're really in the thick of it this time because this place has werewolves, undead, seemingly wizards, and smoking hot vampire ladies, and one of them is like 9 feet tall and has Freddy Krueger hands. Resident Evil 4 fans will rejoice because we're seeing not only the return of a merchant, but also the beloved Tetris-style inventory system. I was actually able to get my hands on the maiden demo exclusive for the PlayStation 5, and I've got to tell you that it blew my frickin' socks off. The visuals, the sound design, the atmosphere, and the voice acting was all amazing, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the full game. Resident Evil Village is being developed by Capcom, who was just on a roll these last couple years, and it's coming out on May 7th, 2021.
Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Moving on to number 5, I want to take the opportunity to acknowledge a game that I don't think a lot of people really know exists yet, and that's S&box. S&box is being developed by Facepunch Studios, and if you don't know, they're the people who gave us not only Gary's Mod, but also Rust. And S&box is literally a sequel to Gary's Mod. It's being developed on Valve's new Source 2 engine, which is going to allow people to do even crazier things than what was ever possible in Gary's Mod. New game modes, physics, and mod tools, the sky is literally the limit for this game. Gary's Mod came out in 2006, nearly 15 years ago, and people are still playing that game and creating awesome stuff for it. So just imagining the possibilities of a sequel in 2021 with Valve's new engine and modern technology, it's super exciting to think about. The game is still in early development and there isn't a whole lot of information about it yet, but Facepunch will occasionally drop a dev blog discussing the game's progress. Like I said, S&box is being developed by Facepunch Studios and there is no release date yet, but I wanted to get this game on people's radar. It's a sequel to Gary's Mod. I mean, need I say more? Number 6 is going to be kind of a quick one because we're going to talk about Elden Ring. First announced at E3 2019 and we've heard virtually nothing since. There isn't a whole lot of information about this game at the moment obviously, but what we do know is that Elden Ring is going to be an open world Souls game developed by From Software in collaboration with the Game of Thrones author George R.R. Martin. The game seems to be heavily inspired by Norse mythology and will be a pretty big change up from traditional Souls games, probably in the same vein as something like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It'll be interesting to see FromSoft's take on an open world style game, and if the game ever comes out, I'll be here for it. Elden Ring is being developed by From Software and currently has no release date or release window. Number 7 I'm sure is on a lot of people's lists, and that's God of War Ragnarok. Ragnarok is a direct sequel to the critical and commercial success that was God of War 2018. Ragnarok in Norse mythology is essentially Armageddon, or the end times, and it was even teased a little bit near the end of God of War 2018. And although we haven't seen gameplay yet for the new God of War game, it's safe to assume that it's only going to build off the gameplay that made the 2018 game so great. Going to new locations, meeting new people, killing them, it'll all be part of the fun. Based on several plot threads that were started in 2018, we can safely speculate on what God of War Ragnarok could be about. Massive spoiler warning for God of War 2018, so if you haven't played that game, I'll put a timestamp on the screen so you can skip through it. But between gallivanting through all of the realms and wreaking absolute havoc, freeing all the Valkyries and Mimir, killing Magnus, Modi, and Baldur, it's safe to assume that Zeus and friends probably aren't too happy with our boy Kratos. Not to mention that Freya also hates us for killing her son right in front of her and promised to
I will rain down every agony, every violation imaginable upon you. I will parade your cold body from every corner of every realm and feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
He saved your life.
He robbed me of everything.
The end of the game also teased Kratos' death in a prophecy. The end cutscene for the game shows Atreus having a dream where the two of them wake up to find none other than Thor himself at their door. A dream he said felt like the future. So needless to say, the game has plenty of epic plot points that it needs to hit. God of War Ragnarok is being developed by Sony Santa Monica and is set to hit PS5 and rumored PlayStation 4 sometime in 2021. Keeping it moving with number 8, I wanted to talk about Little Devil Inside. Little Devil Inside is an open-world RPG game being developed under the motto, less is more. Not only taking on a more minimalistic art style that I'm a big fan of, but also focusing on having minimal HUD and UI elements along with more light RPG mechanics. You play as a monster hunter named Billy who essentially goes out into the world, traveling from biome to biome to help aid with monster research and documenting all the different creatures throughout the world. There is no fast travel, so you have to make your way to different train stations that will take you to and from different areas and biomes around the world. This just seems like one of those games that's going to be really fun to explore and offer a more lighthearted and kind of chill experience, like something in the same vein as Breath of the Wild. The art style, the music, the combat, I'm just here for this game and I hope you are too. Little Devil Inside is being developed by NeoStream Interactive and is set to release on Nintendo Switch, PS4 and 5, Xbox, and PC in July of 2021. Nearing the end with number 9, you knew I was going to say it, is the highly anticipated Back 4 Blood. Back 4 Blood, if you don't know, is the spiritual successor to one of my favorite game series ever, Left 4 Dead. Back 4 Blood is being designed with every element of Left 4 Dead in mind. Special infected, safe rooms, melee weapons, teamwork, it's all here and more. This time around you're getting a few new features such as weapon customization, an item shop in the safe room, actual boss battles, the card system, and now you can even aim down sight and sprint. The card system are basically random modifiers. At the beginning of each round, a couple cards are drawn at random that hinder you as a player, such as larger hordes, more special infected spawns, or the coolest one I saw is the map gets covered with fog that completely changes not only the pacing of the game, but the overall tone of the level. As the player, you then get to draw from a deck of cards that benefits not only yourself, but also your team, like getting health recovery from melee hits and increased player movement or reload speed. Back 4 Blood got a closed alpha test a few months ago, and I was actually lucky enough to actually get selected for it, so the footage you're watching is actually my own. And I'm happy to report that the Left 4 Dead DNA runs deep in this game. You can feel it. The zombies and special infected may look different, the game's name may be different, but this is going to be a Left 4 Dead game through and through, and I'm really excited for it. But only time will tell if Back 4 Blood can live up to the name of its legendary predecessor. Back 4 Blood is being developed by Turtle Rock Studios and is releasing on PS4, 5, Xbox, and PC on June 22nd, 2021. Welcome back, Left 4 Dead. And finally at number 10, you probably knew this one was coming, Halo Infinite.
This is you, Ennis!
That's right, I had to save the best for last. Halo is being developed by 343 Industries as a spiritual reboot to the near 20-year-old game series Halo. After the most recent title, Halo 5, was not very well received by critics and the fanbase at large, being criticized for straying too far from the traditional Halo formula, 343 has decided to bring Halo back to its roots and put more emphasis on Halo's classic sandbox gameplay and bring back a more classic art style that the fans have just gone absolutely nuts over. The game is also going to be open world, or at least semi-open world, and allow players to explore a Halo ring for the first time since 2007. Story details are a little light at the moment, but what we do know is that this time Chief is going up against the Banished, who we don't really know what they're up to yet, and that it takes place on Zeta Halo, which has a really rich history with the Flood and the Forerunners. This is also shaping up to be the most accessible and maybe the most popular Halo game ever. This is the first time a Halo game is launching on multiple platforms, all the current Xbox consoles and PC. The multiplayer is going to be free to play, and the full game is going to be launching on Game Pass day one. So many people are going to be able to play this game, and I think when this game launches, it's going to be freaking nuts. With not only a massive campaign, popular multiplayer, but also what 343 has said is going to be the largest forge ever. This is going to be crazy. And as a longtime Halo fan, I could not be more excited for this game to come out. Halo Infinite is being developed by 343 Industries and should have launched with the Xbox Series X in November, but was delayed to launch on all the current Xbox consoles and PC in fall 2021. So that's going to do it for the list of 10 upcoming games that I'm most excited for. And I know I didn't get to all of them, so let me know what games you're excited for down in the comments. But if you enjoyed the video, leaving a like helps me out a lot, and if you're new, consider subscribing because my channel is a great place to find more content just like this. You can follow me on Twitter at NickRespawns, and if you made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.